Hey, all, Baruch Levy B here from the Defiant Spirit. I want to just share with you a little of what's going on in my life over at the Defiant Spirit. A couple podcasts for you this week. You can jump over to defiantspirit.org/podcast, or just go to the website and you'll find the podcast page where this week I talk about the Enneagram 8, the Challenger, my type, at the movies. So we've been doing a series, wrapping it up. Fun ways to learn about the Enneagram through the big screen or television shows and looking at various characters. It's part of my Defy Your Number Enneagram system and program. So if you're interested in the Enneagram, jump over there, check that out, download my free ebook, 9 Types Walk Into a Bar, and then get into my program. I think you'll really appreciate it. It'll be transformative. But there's another aspect of my work, as you know, and that is the work of Viktor Frankl. I bring the Enneagram together, but with Viktor Frankl as the foundation. Logotherapy. I'm a logotherapist, meaning-centered therapy, living. And to the other podcast I did this week is all about, I believe, one of his great contributions to humanity, and that is his idea of transforming tragedy into triumph. Now, it's not just tragedy. It's any of life's struggles, shadows, darkness. Yes, tragedy. I call them life's T's: transitions, tests, trials, traumas, tragedies. The shit that we all go through time and time again. The challenge is most of us have not been taught the truth about life's T's. We've been taught to survive. And if you've been taught to survive, you've been, if maybe you've been lied to, but certainly you haven't been given the whole truth. And this is not your fault. Nobody told us that you can do more than survive. You know, when I was a rabbi, I would talk about, surviving the death of a loved one. It's a starting point, but you fail your duty as a mourner, as a loved one, if you just survive. Yes, trust me, of having a father and a grandmother who killed themselves, I understand how important it is to first survive. But that's not enough. That's not a life. Animals survive. You're not an animal. You're a divine being. You're the nous, says Frankl. You're the defiant power of the human spirit. And it is incumbent upon you, when you're going through whatever is causing you suffering, to survive and then to thrive, to do more than just get by. I call it going from being a victim to being a victor, Viktor, because we don't have a word for more than surviving. You know, we have a survivor. Do we have a thriver? We don't have a thriver. It's not a word. But to become victorious, to become transformational, not in spite of whatever you're facing, because of it. And that's my talk. That's this week's podcast that just came out today, which is all about doing more than surviving, not in spite of your struggles. It can be big and small. I mean, it can be, you just don't feel like you're living your life purpose. I work with people every single day where all we do week in and week out is continue to talk about their purpose, their why, and refine it and live it in 1,000 different ways. And not having that can be tragic, right? Wayne Dyer said, don't die with your music still in you. One of the greatest tragedies in life, I believe, is when we live somebody else's music, somebody else's life, and we get towards the end of life, and we start to wake up, and we realize this isn't my life. I think of the Talking Head song, right? This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful house. How did I get here? And so I work with people to, before that comes, to make their stand in whatever they're facing. You don't have to dump your marriage. You don't have to dump your job. You don't have to run from your life. Don't do that. Make your stand where you are. Figure it out in your struggle, in your suffering, and go into it. And this is what Frankl taught. And this is what is at the heart of logotherapy, because it's in that struggle. It's in that darkness. It's in that suffering where you will find your logos, your meaning, yours and yours alone. I can't find it for you, and mine isn't yours. You can find it on the mountaintops. You can find it in the fun times and the good times, but let's just be honest, it's harder to find up there. Why? Because the need isn't there, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. Was that Plato? Somebody said that, necessity. And when you're in the darkness, when you're feeling like a victim, when you don't know where to go, that's when we need logos. We need our meaning, our purpose, our why. So we go into this struggle, into this suffering, not just simply to survive. Notice the title, right? Transforming tragedy into triumph, to become transformational. And developing tools, developing pathways within the struggle, within the darkness, to transform our particular suffering into our opportunity, into our triumph. There's blessing in struggle and suffering. I don't wish it upon you. I don't have to. It will find you without my blessing, without my wish. It doesn't mean that it's fun. It doesn't mean that it's good. And it certainly doesn't mean that we go seeking it. The moment you go seeking suffering, there's no way to redeem it, to transform it into meaning. Says Frankl, you must not engage in masochism. You don't have to go do this. It will come to you. I promise you. And when it does, you don't have to be powerless. You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to sit there and simply survive. Please do start by surviving, but then get to this point when you say surviving is not enough, surviving in an empty marriage, surviving empty nest, surviving in a profession that is just wearing you down and you feel like you're wasting away, surviving the death of a loved one by just subsisting. I mean, the list goes on, and we're just not here to simply live in survival mode. So if you want to learn more about how to transform tragedy into triumph, jump over and listen to my podcast, sign up for all of them. If you want to learn about the Enneagram, you can jump over there and get a free ebook, 9 Types Walk Into a Bar. If you want to connect and work with me, I would love to hear from you. Happy to just get on a call and do a free complimentary discovery call just to see where you are and how I can help you get to your next step, wherever that might be. But wherever it is, I hope you make your stand. I hope you transform your life from victim to victor, because survival is not enough. I will talk to you or see you in the next video. Until then, defy your number and live your beautiful spirit.